Hello guys, and welcome to part 2 of this little two-part tutorial series. If you haven't already seen part 1 where I do the modeling and animation, you can go check it out on my channel. So this is in Blender 2.91 by the way, and this part will just be touching on the materials, shaders, and just the final rendering. Okay, so let's get into it. I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so first of all, let's get started by setting up our renderer. So we're going to go to our render settings. We're going to make sure the render engine is set to Eevee, which it should be by default. All we need to do is enable ambient occlusion and our bloom, and also the screen space reflections here. If you plan to work with any refractive materials like glass, you can also come to the drop down here and enable refraction. I won't be doing that, so I'm not going to be ticking refraction. So what we're going to do now is we obviously need to add in a light source to see what we're doing. So let's go Shift A and just go down to our light options. We're going to add in an area light. That's what I prefer to work with. G, Z, and just bring that up along the Z axis. And this is come to our light settings and just bump the scale of that up about 2 meters, should be okay. And then come to the power and make it around 80. Now this could vary depending on what you're doing, but if you now hit Z and you go into rendered view, you should be able to see this is kind of the strength of the light. So I'm going to leave this one up here, just directly above. And then I'm going to go Shift D, duplicate this guy again. Then I'm going to go R, Y, and rotate it in like this towards the subject matter here. And then I'm going to go to my top view and I'm just going to rotate the light out a bit and then move it down towards the corner here. So just one light coming here from the side. I might bump the strength up to 100 for that guy. And then I'm just going to go Shift D to duplicate that one, bring it over here and rotate it in towards the subject matter. Just so we have these free lights like this. Now there's a lot of different ways you can approach lighting, but this is kind of just my approach for some simple 3-point lighting. So I'm going to now go into my camera view. We can see what it looks like. Now it actually does look really bright, and that's simply because nothing has a shader on, it's just the default white. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by actually making our shader. So we're going to select the floor first, right? And we're going to go into our shading workspace and make sure to go back into camera view, just hit Z and go into rendered view. So we have our floor selected, so we need to click on new. So you can click new over here or either up here. So just click it and just name it floor. What we're going to do is we're going to keep the principled shader here, but we're going to plug some things into it. So we're going to make a kind of like fake floor. So we're going to go Shift A. We're going to type in search here, type in a search, and we're going to type in noise. Click on noise texture. We're going to take the color here and plug it into the base color of our principled shader. Now we could add in a whole bunch of other nodes manually, but if you quickly go to edit mode, go to your preferences, just go to your add-ons, you can come over here and type in node, and just make sure to click on node wrangler here. Just click this little button, and that's going to enable something called node wrangler. So if you now click on this noise texture and it's active and you hit Control T, it's going to add in these two coordinates for you. So one's a texture coordinate and one's a mapping node. We're then going to take the object vector here and just plug the object output and plug it into the vector of the mapping here. And depending on the scale of your scene, if you didn't follow along with me, these values here might be a little bit different. So just kind of experiment. But for me, I made the scale 13. And I came over here to my X value and I made that 34. So just like that. Now obviously this color looks a bit obnoxious, so I'm just going to grab these two shaders here, G, just to move them over, and let's plug in a few more nodes. So I'm going to go Shift A, search. Let's grab ourselves a color ramp node, so just type in color ramp and place this guy on here. It'll automatically connect. And we're going to take this black slider, bring that value in a bit, and then bring the white value down a bit. But instead of changing these colors, we can use these as a mask. So we're going to go Shift A, we're going to search, and we get ourselves a mix RGB. So type in mix, create the mix RGB. Now if we take this output of the color ramp, plug it into the factor, it'll now use this black and white value to mix these two colors here. Now we can change these two colors to whatever we want. So I'm going to select the top one. I'm going to make it kind of like a off kind of cream color, like that. And then I'm going to select the bottom one, and I'm going to make it a bit of a darker kind of cream color, maybe even a brown. Then we'll obviously just take the color and plug it into the base color of your principled shader, and we should see the magic happen. So now we have a kind of wooden floor happening here. You can also come to the roughness and just bring that down to make it a bit more reflective. Mess around with the slider here if you want to up the contrast and kind of change the style of your wood. but that's completely up to you. So this is not the most realistic wood, but it's a nice quick little procedural effect you can create. Looks better than nothing. So now we're going to click on this plus over here, add another material to this floor, so we still have the floor selected. I'm going to go new, and let's just call this channel, because that's going to be the channels here. If we tab into edit mode, you're going to see it should have all of these channels here selected, because when we applied in part 1, when we applied our Boolean modifier, it automatically kept these faces selected for us. So with them still selected, we're going to select our new material channel and assign it. You can now see it's assigned. Tab out of edit mode. Make sure you're still in camera view. Make sure you're still in rendered mode. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to this base color. We're going to kind of make it like a goldeny, coppery color. Increase the metallic value all the way up to 1, and then bring that roughness down a bit. So now we have that effect going. You can also, if you want to cheat a little bit, go to your floor and just select these nodes over here. Right click and go copy. Click on your channel shader. Right click in here and the space and go paste. And then you can actually just take this color and plug it into the base color of the principled shader like that. And then you can mess around with some of these colors here a little bit. And now you kind of have this cool effect going like that. You can mess around with the roughness and the scale over here. Just have as much fun as you want messing around with that a little bit. I won't get too much into that, but that looks really cool so far anyway. So what we're going to do now is just select the spheres, and in part 1 you can remember we added these placeholder materials, so half 1. So I'm just going to change mine to maybe a kind of purple. You can go for whatever theme you want. I'm going to make it slightly metallic and then bring the roughness down. So we want kind of like this frosted snow globe kind of look. And once again, you can make the color, which is whatever you want to go with. Yeah? You can kind of go with green and red if you want to kind of do like a bit of a Christmas theme, but I'm just going to go with like a purpley kind of pink. And then I'm going to click on the half 2. I'm going to make that fully metallic, and I'm just going to come to the drop down, make it a little bit darker, and you can see that's what that looks like. Once again, you can mess around with that as much as you want. Totally up to you. You know, just kind of get a theme going. Look at some color palettes on Adobe's website. There's all sorts of resources out there. Okay, so once you've done that, we can now select this part in the middle, which is the rotating part. And we're going to click new and make a new material for that. And let's just call this, color 1. I don't know, I'm not being very creative. Just call it whatever. And then we're going to click on the base color here. And I'm going to go with something like this. Kind of like a pinkish kind of color. Once again, I'm going to make it metallic and then bring the roughness down just a little bit. Kind of like the way that looks. I'm then going to select this arc up here, this arch. Come to the drop down here and give it that same color 1 material, or whatever you've decided to name it. Now the cool thing is, earlier, if you can remember in part 1, we applied a Boolean modifier on this guy. So if you go into edit mode, these faces in here should be selected automatically. So you can come here, click on the little plus, and you can come to the drop down and you can kind of give it any one of these materials. So I might make it a half 1, assign that, tab out of edit mode. Now you can see we kind of have a different color in there. You can also just make that whatever you want. You can even give it a channel material or whatever. Completely up to you. Just make it whatever you want. So one more thing that can really make this look cool, if we actually select this bridge here and we tap into edit mode, and you can remember in part 1 I selected all of these faces in here while we were editing it, so they're all active. And the reason I did it, so when we come into our materials here, we can click on the plus, click new and assign a new material here. I'm going to come here to the surface and let's just hit E. That's going to add in an emission. I'm going to make this kind of like a blue and bump the strength up to 14. And now if we hit Z and we go rendered, tab out of edit mode, you can see we now have that kind of glow happening there. So if you hit spacebar to play the animation, you can kind of mess around with that, see what it looks like. So that's really cool. So yeah, try different themes, try different color palettes. I might even go with like a kind of like a pinkish for that. Bump the strength up. You can also come here to your output settings, or your render settings, and you can kind of mess around with the bloom threshold here. You know, mess around with the radius a little bit, try all sorts of different things until you get something that you like. So I might grab this sphere here. I think that color there, that 1/2 of it, I don't quite like that. I might make that value a little bit lighter. Maybe something like that. But you guys can experiment, try all sorts of different things. And I'm no longer on Instagram, but if you guys do make something, definitely share it with some of your friends and people in the community. And anyway, I've said enough. I think I'm going to show you now how to render this out as a final loopable animation. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go back to my layout. I'm going to go to my output settings and then just go down to output. Click on the little folder and you can select your desktop or wherever you want the destination to be. So I'm just going to select my desktop in this example. You can go to the file format and make it FFmpeg. And then you can just come to your encoding, come to the container type, and I like to make it an MP4. Once you've done that, just make sure to save. So I'm just going to go ahead and save. Then you can go render and render animation, and it should render this out as a nice loopable animation for you. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. So this has been part 2. Once again, if you haven't seen part 1, check it out on my channel. And I will be making this blend file available on Patreon. I hope you guys stay safe and definitely keep an eye out for some future content.